What you allow into your heart will shape your life. It will determine your actions, your words, and ultimately your destiny. The heart is not just an organ that pumps blood in the spiritual sense. It is the center of who you are. It holds your thoughts, emotions, desires, and beliefs. That is why you must guard it with everything you have. There are so many voices in this world, voices that will tell you what to believe, what to feel, and how to live. Some voices will try to fill your heart with doubt, fear, and anger. Others will tempt you with things that may seem harmless at first, but will lead you down a path of destruction. If you are not careful, if you do not guard your heart, you will find yourself pulled away from the truth, away from peace, and away from the life you were meant to live. It is not just about what we hear, it is about what we allow to take root. If you plant seeds of bitterness, resentment will grow. If you allow jealousy to take hold, you will never be satisfied with what you have. If you fill your heart with negativity, you will never see the blessings that are right in front of you. But if you fill your heart with faith, with truth, with love, you will see the power of God move in ways you never imagined. Think about a garden. A good gardener does not let just anything grow. Weeds will come up, but if they are left alone, they will choke out the good plants. The gardener must be vigilant, pulling out the weeds, nurturing the good soil, making sure that the plants get the sunlight and water they need. Your heart is no different. You must be careful about what you let grow. You must be intentional about what you feed your heart and soul. This world will try to corrupt your heart. It will try to fill it with lies, with distractions, with things that seem good, but are not from God. That is why you must be on guard. You must be careful about what you watch, what you listen to, what conversations you engage in. Because whether you realize it or not, all of it is planting something in your heart. You may think that a little compromise here or there does not matter, but over time, those small compromises add up. Before you know it, your heart is heavy, burdened, and far from where it should be. Be careful about the people you allow to speak into your life. Not everyone has your best interest at heart. Some people will try to lead you down a path that looks good but is full of destruction. Others will plant seeds of doubt in your faith, making you question what you know to be true. If you are not guarding your heart, you may find yourself believing things that go against what is right, what is pure, what is good. There will be moments in your life when your heart will be tested, when trials come, when disappointments hit, when the world seems against you. What is in your heart will come out. If you have filled it with truth, with faith, with trust in God, you will stand firm. But if you have let your heart be filled with fear, with doubt, with negativity, you will struggle to hold on. The enemy knows that if he can get to your heart, he can get to your life. He does not need to destroy you outright. He just needs to plant a little seed of discouragement, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of temptation. If you let it take root, it will grow into something that will pull you away from your purpose. That is why you must be vigilant. So how do you guard your heart? You start by filling it with the right things. Fill your heart with truth. Spend time in the Word of God, in prayer and worship. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, who speak life into you, who push you to grow in faith. Stay away from things that pull you into darkness. Do not entertain thoughts that bring you down. Do not dwell on things that make you bitter. Do not let your heart become a dumping ground for negativity. Instead, let your heart be a place of peace. Let it be filled with gratitude, with hope, with joy. Let it be a place where faith grows, where love abounds, where truth reigns. And when trials come, when temptations rise, when the world tries to shake you, your heart will remain strong, unshaken, rooted in what is good and what is true. My friends, your heart is precious. It is the wellspring of your life. Do not leave it unguarded. Be careful what you allow in. Be watchful of what you let take root. Because what is in your heart will determine the course of your life. Guard it well, and you will walk in peace and purpose and in the fullness of all that God has for you. Integrity is the foundation of a strong and honorable life. It is who you are when no one is watching, the quiet voice that tells you to do what is right even when it is difficult. Integrity is not just about the big decisions, it is about the small ones too. It is about being honest in your words, faithful in your commitments, and unwavering in your principles. In a world where compromise is easy and deception is common, protecting your integrity is one of the greatest challenges you will ever face. People will tell you that a little dishonesty won't hurt, that bending the truth is just part of life, that cutting corners is necessary to get ahead. But once you start walking down that path, it becomes easier and easier to lose yourself. The moment you trade your integrity for convenience, you begin to sacrifice the very thing that holds your character together. Integrity is not just about reputation, it is about your soul. Reputation is what people think of, but integrity is who you truly are. There are those who appear righteous on the outside, who say all the right words, who seem trustworthy, but inside their hearts are full of deception. They may fool others for a time, but in the end, the truth always comes out. A life built on lies will eventually crumble, but a life built on integrity will stand strong no matter what storms come. The test of integrity often comes in the quiet moments when no one else would know, when you could easily get away with something, when there is no immediate consequence. It happens in the small choices. Will you be truthful when it costs you? Will you remain faithful when no one is looking? Will you do the right thing even when it is difficult? Because integrity is not something you can put on and take off like a coat. It must be woven into the very fabric of your being. There will be times when protecting your integrity comes at a cost. You may lose opportunities, you may face criticism, you may be mocked for not taking the easy road. But what good is success if it comes at the expense of your character? What good is gaining the whole world if you lose your soul in the process? No amount of money, no amount of status, no amount of earthly rewards is worth sacrificing the truth of who you are. Integrity is also about consistency. It is not just about being honest when it benefits you, it is about being truthful in all things. Some people live with divided hearts. They are one way in public and another in private. They speak of honesty, yet they deceive. They talk about loyalty, yet they betray. They claim to stand for righteousness, yet their actions say otherwise. But integrity does not waver. It does not change based on circumstances. It is steadfast, unshakable, and true. Guarding your integrity means being mindful of the company you keep. The people around you can either strengthen your integrity or weaken it. If you surround yourself with those who cut corners, who twist the truth, who make excuses for wrongdoing, it will not be long before their habits influence you. But if you walk with those who value honesty, who uphold righteousness, who encourage you to stand firm in your principles, you will be strengthened in your resolve. Temptation will always come. There will be moments when you are offered a shortcut, when telling a lie seems easier than telling the truth, when compromising just a little seems harmless. But integrity is an all or nothing commitment. You cannot be mostly honest, just as you cannot be somewhat faithful. True integrity requires a decision, a firm and unwavering commitment to do what is right no matter the cost. The reward of integrity is peace. When you live with honesty, when you walk in truth, you do not have to live in fear of being exposed. You do not have to carry the weight of deception, the burden of keeping up appearances, the constant worry of being found out. A life of integrity is a life of freedom. It is a life of trust, a life of stability, a life that is built on a foundation that cannot be shaken. So protect your integrity. Do not trade it for temporary gain. Do not compromise it for the approval of others. Do not let the pressures of the world pull you away from what is right. Stand firm. Walk in truth. Let your word be your bond. And in doing so, you will not only honor yourself, but you will honor God. You will walk in strength, in peace, and in a legacy that will outlast anything this world could ever offer. The voices you listen to will shape the direction of your life. Every day you are surrounded by opinions, advice, and influence from people who genuinely care about you. Others from those who have no concern for your well-being. Not every voice is meant to guide you, and not every person who speaks into your life has wisdom to offer. That is why you must be careful, discerning, and prayerful about whom you allow to counsel you. There are people who will give advice based on their own fears, their own failures, or their own selfish motives. They may not mean harm, but their words can plant doubt, confusion, and hesitation in your heart. They will tell you that your dreams are too big, that your faith is too strong, that your convictions are too extreme. They will try to persuade you to lower your standards, to compromise just a little, to take the easy road instead of the right one. And if you are not careful, their words will take root in your heart and lead you away from the path you were meant to walk. Some counsel comes wrapped in kindness, but it leads to destruction. There are those who will encourage you to do what feels good rather than what is right. They will tell you to follow your heart, even when your heart is pulling you in the wrong direction. They will justify sinful choices, making them seem reasonable, making them seem harmless. But the wrong counsel, no matter how sweet it sounds, will never lead to a good place. The enemy loves to work through deception. He knows that if he can surround you with the wrong voices, he can pull you away from the truth. He does not need to attack you directly. All he needs to do is plant doubt to put people in your life who will nudge you just a little off course. At first it may seem insignificant, but over time those small steps away from truth will lead you far from where you are meant to be. That is why discernment is so critical. The Bible warns repeatedly about the danger of ungodly counsel. It speaks of those who disguise themselves as wise but are full of deceit. It warns of those who will whisper in your ear, telling you what you want to hear rather than what you need to hear. It cautions against walking with the wicked, against standing with sinners, against sitting with mockers. Because the company you keep, the voices you trust, will determine the course of your life. There will be moments when you are at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. In those moments, you must be careful about where you seek guidance. Do not go to those who live without wisdom. Do not seek advice from those who do not walk in truth. Surround yourself with people who honor integrity, who walk in righteousness, who have your best interest at heart. A wise friend will tell you the truth, even when it is hard to hear. A godly counselor will lead you toward what is right, not just what is easy. Beware of the voices that only tell you what you want to hear. Some people will agree with you, not because they believe in what you are doing, but because they fear losing your approval. Others will flatter you, but their words are empty, meant only to gain favor. True wisdom does not flatter, it corrects, it challenges, it pushes you toward growth. Do not surround yourself with those who feed your pride, seek those who sharpen your character. Wrong counsel does not always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from those closest to you. Well-meaning friends, family members, even respected leaders can give advice that is not aligned with truth. That is why you must test everything against what is right. Do not follow advice blindly. Weigh it, pray over it. Seek wisdom from God before taking any step, because in the end you alone will bear the consequences of the choices you make. The company you keep will influence the person you become. If you walk with the wise, you will become wise. If you surround yourself with the foolish, you will suffer harm. It is a simple truth, yet so many ignore it. They think they can stand firm while keeping bad company. They believe they can listen to the wrong voices without being affected. But little by little, those influences shape their thinking, their decisions, their destiny. Do not be deceived. The people you listen to matter. The voices you trust will either strengthen your faith or weaken it. They will either lead you toward purpose or pull you away from it. Be careful. Be discerning. Choose wisely. Because the wrong counsel, no matter how well intended, can lead to consequences you never intended to face. Seek wisdom, seek truth, and above all, seek guidance from the one who never leads astray. Not everything in your life is meant to be shared. Some things are sacred, your dreams, your prayers, your struggles, your moments with God, and they are not meant for the eyes and ears of the world. In a time when people feel the need to broadcast every detail of their lives, it is easy to forget that there is power in silence, in privacy, in holding certain things close to your heart. There are aspects of your journey that are meant to be between you and God alone, not exposed to the opinions, doubts, and criticisms of others. When something is sacred, it is set apart. It is not common, not for everyone's consumption, not to be thrown carelessly before those who do not understand its value. Sacred things require protection. If you allow the wrong people access to them, they can be misused, twisted, or trampled upon. There are people who will not see your vision the way you do, who will not honor your faith, who will not understand the calling on your life. If you share too soon or with the wrong audience, you may find your dreams ridiculed, your faith questioned, your hope discouraged. Many great dreams have been destroyed simply because they were spoken too soon. When Joseph shared his dreams with his brothers, instead of supporting him, they became jealous, resentful, and plotted against him. Not everyone is ready to hear what God has placed in your heart. Some people will try to talk you out of what you know to be true. Others may speak doubt into your life, causing you to second guess what you once felt sure of. Some things need time to grow, to take root, to develop before they are shared. If you expose them too early, they may not survive. Your relationship with God is one of the most sacred things in your life, and it must be guarded. There are moments of prayer, moments of revelation, moments of deep connection that are not meant to be publicized but treasured. The Pharisees made a show of their prayers, speaking loudly in the streets so others would see their righteousness. But Jesus taught that true prayer happens in the secret place, where it is just you and God, away from the eyes of men. What happens in the quiet place with God is sacred, and it is in those private moments that your faith is strengthened, your spirit renewed, your purpose clarified. There are also struggles that are meant to be kept sacred. Not every battle you face should be shared with the world. In times of difficulty, some people will sympathize, but others will only use your weakness against you. If you expose your wounds to the wrong people, they may not bring healing. They may only make them deeper. There is wisdom in knowing whom to trust, whom to confide in, whom to let into your personal battles. Some struggles should be brought before God alone, because He alone can bring the healing and direction you need. The sacredness of your purpose must also be protected. When you have been called to something great, there will always be those who try to discourage you, distract you, or pull you away from your path. Some will try to convince you that your calling is too big, that you are not qualified, that it is impossible. If you listen to every voice, you will lose sight of what God has placed in your heart. Protect what is sacred. Nurture your vision in prayer. Seek wisdom before sharing. Allow your purpose to develop before exposing it to the world. There is a time and place for sharing, but there is also a time for silence. Some people speak too soon and find their words used against them. Some open their hearts to those who have no intention of honoring what they share. Some reveal their dreams only to be met with doubt and discouragement. But those who understand the value of sacred things know when to keep quiet, when to let things unfold before making them known. What is sacred in your life should not be treated as common. The world does not need to know every detail of your faith, your struggles, your dreams, your journey. Some things are meant to be hidden in the presence of God, nurtured in private, protected from the noise of outside voices. In a world that encourages oversharing, there is power in discretion, strength in silence, and wisdom in keeping sacred things sacred. Guard your heart, guard your dreams, guard your faith. Not everything is meant for the world to see. Hold on to what is precious, protect what is holy, and trust that what is meant to be revealed will be revealed in its right time. Everything in life requires wisdom, and one of the greatest marks of wisdom is knowing what to protect. Your heart, your integrity, the counsel you receive, and the sacred things in your life, these are not just details, they are the foundation of your character, your purpose, and your relationship with God. If you do not guard them, the world will try to corrupt them. Guard your heart, because everything you do flows from it. Protect your integrity, because it defines who you are when no one is watching. Beware of the wrong counsel, because the voices you listen to will shape your path. Keep sacred things sacred, because not everything is meant to be shared with the world. We live in a time where compromise is common, where distractions are endless, and where true wisdom is often ignored. But if you stand firm, if you choose to live with discernment, if you commit to protecting what is valuable, you will walk in strength, in purpose, and in peace. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves your trust. Not every moment needs to be made public. If you guard what truly matters, you will not be easily shaken. You will stand firm in faith, strong in character, and confident in the path set before you. And in the end, you will not only live with honor, but you will leave a legacy that cannot be erased.